Decisions are a vitally important part of being a really good businessman, a successful business person, I should say. And today we're going to talk about how to make good decisions. They did in the Times, the London Times. Actually, they don't like to be called the London Times. It's just the Times. You know, everywhere else is the New York Times or whatever, but in London it's the Times. And they did a survey amongst 200 senior executives in England, and they asked them what is their best attribute as a successful person. And almost every single one of them rated either 1 or 2 their ability to make good, accurate decisions. Decisions are a vitally important part of being successful. And so often we rather think that it's luck. You know, we think that these guys have made decisions that work out simply because of luck. And sure, there is luck involved here. But luck is not what it's all about at all. It's skills. And what we're going to be looking at today are a process of skills, things that you can apply to make better decisions, techniques, things you can learn. Sure, there's luck in it as well. It's really nice to be a lucky decision maker. Can't teach you how to get luck. But we can teach you today, or talk about today, the skills. And that's what we're going to be looking at. We make decisions every day. Some of them trivial decisions. Some of them like getting up in the morning, you know, what time to get up in the morning. We were all up this morning early, weren't we, because it's first day back at school. We were all up a bit earlier this morning, but you know, you decide what to get up, what time to get up. Or monumental decisions like your global strategy for the next 5 years. We make lots of different decisions every single day. And we need to be able to make sure that those decisions become more and more successful. One of the techniques, interestingly, about decisions is that the more you make them, the better you get at it. Why? Because it's a skill. You just simply get better at it. And we're frightened often of making decisions, but in fact, the more you make, the better you get at it. You should be trying to make as many possible decisions as you can. Keep making them. Keep trying it out. Just get better at it as you go. Computers make great decisions. If you're asking for a simple decision, computers do that pretty well. They take a set of facts, if you like. You ask them a question. Based on those facts, they will give you the logical answer. Now, that's fine for simple decisions. More complex decisions we could never ask computers to do. But in fact, the computer and our brain work in very much the same way. Very similar ways. We talked about this last year in our memory presentation. Some of you attended that, I know. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but the computer and the brain work in a very similar way. A computer, in order to make a decision, or in fact, in order to do anything, computers work with what's called a binary system. Now, a binary system is simply a matter of zeros and ones, on or off, if you like. And computers do very complex decision-making, very complex music, and create designs simply by putting together many billions, I imagine, of zeros and ones. That's how computers work. Now, if you don't know this stuff, it's probably because you don't want to know this stuff, so that's fine. You know, we're not going to go into too much detail. But what is interesting is that the brain works in a very similar way. The brain is made up of neurons. Apparently about 10 billion neurons we've got up here in our brain. 10 billion of them. And each of those 10 billion neurons can connect to 10,000 other neurons. So, and the whole process of our brain, the way in which our brain works, is simply a matter of whether those neurons are connected or not. In exactly the same way as the computer works with zeros and ones, the brain works with connected or not connected. Now, if you think about it, I don't know if we've got this right here. If you think about it, there are 10 billion neurons. That's 10 billion neurons, okay? It looks like a 6, but it's not. Now, each of those 10 billion can now connect to 10,000 other neurons. So the total number of connections possible are 10 billion. This is working downhill now. I don't know why that is. But anyway, 10 billion to the power 10,000. Anybody want to calculate that for me? I don't know if you did this at school, but this is a big number. Okay. I asked my computer to do this calculation, and it had a fit and stopped. I mean, it literally did seize. It couldn't go any farther. I'm told that the result of this calculation is more than the entire number of atoms in the universe. I'm told. Please, I haven't counted them, I don't know this, I'm just repeating what I've been told. But it is interesting. Now that is an awful lot of computer power going on up here. This is an awful lot of thought processes that were going on up here. And what do we do with all that thought process? We make lousy decisions with it. It's crazy. We've got so much going on for us in our brain, so much potential, and we end up by making pseudo decisions. We end up by putting the decisions off altogether.